I know that your partner was in the military. Did you ever serve in the military?
Well, actually, that's where we met. I had, when I got out of school and came back to Harrisburg, I met a very controlling individual, and it was an absolutely disastrous relationship for about 12 years. In my numerous efforts at escaping her, one of them was to enlist in the military. And so I did in 1983. I was pretty old. I was 28 at the time. I know, my gosh, they still expected me to do push-ups. And that's whenever Marla was in my platoon. And I was in the 3rd squad, she was in the 4th squad, so that meant she was always behind me in formation, and my being 5'9" and her being 5'2", she really enjoyed being behind me, so the drill sergeants could never see her. But we were good friends. The military really does expose one's character, and the goodness that I saw in her heart really just impressed the heck out of me. We did not become lovers or anything else. We were just buddies at the time. And my ex found out where I was, and she dobbed me in as being gay at the time. Of course, 1983, we were not allowed to be in the military. And actually, she didn't even have the guts to do it herself. She put a straight friend up to contacting the liaison officer and saying, "Oh, do you know you have a lesbian in the Army?" And at which point, I was invited to leave before I finished basic training. But before I left, Marla came up to me. I was just in my civvies. I was ready to go out the door, and Marla came up to me and said, just shoved her address in my hand and said, "Lobur, write to me." And so I did, and we wrote letters for a couple years. And
that's sweet.
Yeah, and then she came to visit once, and as they say, the rest is history.
So that's how many years ago?
That was almost 28 years ago.
Oh, and you're still together.
Yes.
That's amazing. That's
yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. If you knew what I was like to live with, it's even more amazing.